Today we're here to talk about Superman Batman Public Enemies, the latest full-length animated feature film from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment and DC Comics. Now this follows in the long line of movies like Superman Doomsday, Batman Gotham Knight, there was the Wonder Woman, there was Green Lantern First Flight. All of those movies are part of DC's initiative to make those really great animated films that come directly to home video. And so this latest one is Superman Batman Public Enemies. This comes out on Tuesday, and there are several different versions. You can get it on Blu-ray, you can get it on 2-disc DVD, you can get regular DVD. I believe Best Buy has a Blu-ray and a 2-disc DVD with a included figure, one of the Infinite Heroes Batman figures. I believe it's the same one from the 3-pack, that one. So keep an eye out for that. But if we take a look here, first of all, the packaging, it's got that nice little, whatever you call it on it. People call it holofoil, hologram, whatever you want to call it on there. But this is the 2-disc DVD special edition that they sent me. And you get a download code for your digital copy. Usually they have it included on a separate disc, but now you're actually going to go to the website, enter the code, and download the file. You've got your regular movie, and then you've got your bonus disc, which has a lot of neat special features we'll get to in a moment. Now, because this is based on a comic, the story is condensed from the actual comic volume. It was 6 issues of the Superman Batman series, or the first trade paperback, if you prefer to read them that way. Now, because it's adapted, they did take some liberties with the story. They had to cut out some of the things that tie into other books and other things going on in the DC Universe at the time. So, unfortunately, my favorite parts, like the part where the Superman from the future comes back and tries to stop Superman from getting in the rocket and going off into space, that's cut out. The part where Captain Atom takes the rocket up and he gets blown into the Wildstorm universe, that's cut out. Wait, what? You're not familiar with all these parts of the story? Okay. Go to Wikipedia right now, read the synopsis of the story, and then come back. Because, really, there's no need for me to be covering it here. No, go ahead. It's cool. We'll wait for you. Yeah, we'll wait. Alright, are they gone? Alright, let's continue. Now, the movie itself is actually pretty decent. The story was mainly one big fight scene with Luthor framing Superman at the beginning, fights with everybody, and then taking the rocket off into space to blow up the kryptonite meteorite at the end. So this movie is actually just lots of action. Some people may say that, well, that makes it kind of light on story. You could make that argument, but really that's not what this movie is about. This movie is about seeing a lot of characters from the DC Universe beating the crap out of each other. And you get that. I mean, there are tons and tons of characters that make an appearance. Usually when they do one of these animated features, they do a storyline that might have something to do with the comics, but they have to cut out the part that would have Black Manta in it. They'd have to cut out the part that had Solomon Grundy in it, because those characters usually don't get pulled into these types of projects. But in this one, all of those guys are there. All of those cameos, all of those characters, you get to see Superman versus Captain Marvel. I mean, it's fantastic the way that they were able to actually do that, and I really applaud them for bringing that through. Now, on top of that, when you think Batman and you think Superman, you generally think of the animated series. You think of Kevin Conroy as Batman, you think of Tim Daly as Superman, you think of the Kurgan from Highlander as being Lex Luthor. They're all here. They are doing the voices. So you can't complain at all about the voices. This sounds better than a lot of these projects end up being when they go out and they grab other people to be these voices. It's nice sometimes to say, hey, we got this big name actor, but these guys are the people that define the characters as far as they go in the animated series, and that's fantastic that they're all here. McGuinness has this very cartoony art style, and they somewhat adapted that for this movie, so you kind of see that same cartoony look of Ed McGuinness showing through in the animated style that they've chosen. It doesn't quite match up with what you remember from Batman the Animated Series or Superman the Animated Series. So you can be a little disappointed if you were hoping for that darker animated style, especially from Batman. But if you're a fan of Ed McGuinness, you'll see a lot of his little tweaks on characters showing through here. For some people it might look a little too simple, but you can really see how they're trying to go for that style that Ed McGuinness brings through. Now, as far as the special features on the disc, Disc 2 has a lot of your stuff. They sit down with a psychologist and they talk about the mind of Batman, why he's a hero, the mind of Superman, why he's a hero, the contrast between the two of them. You've got dinner with Kevin Conroy and a bunch of the DC stars. You've got the lady who does the voice casting. You've got the editor. You've got I don't know if you call him the liaison, but the guy from DC Comics who actually knows all the comic book stories and can help them out, figure everything out, and Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman. And they're basically like all sitting around this table and they're, drinking and they're eating their dessert in this fancy restaurant. And it's really an interesting way to hear them talk about, instead of it just being like one of those director's commentaries as an extra, audio track. So that's kind of nice. There is a really neat look at the upcoming next project from them. It is the Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, and it looks fantastic. I'm a Crisis freak. I love that Earth 1, Earth 2, Justice League, Justice Society, all that kind of stuff going on. So that looks really awesome. And then Bruce Timm, who produced almost all of DC's animated stuff, as far back as Batman the Animated Series, he actually picks out some of the cartoons from the different series that he really likes, that he really thinks defines the characters, from Superman the Animated Series, where Batman makes appearances, and puts them on here. So that's a nice little bonus on the package. They do have a video look at what's going on in Blackest Night in the comic books. They have trailers for some of the other animated films. So, overall, it's really a nice package with a lot of nice bonuses.
You all right?
Better than them, anyway.
Banshee's out. Can you keep her that way?
Hypersonics. Effective even on metahumans. If she tries anything, this'll drive her scream right back at her.
So really, what's the overall rating on something like this? Well, it's going to kind of depend, first of all, on how much you liked Public Enemies as the story. And if you're not familiar with Public Enemies, you're going to have absolutely no problem with this movie. It's going to be one big action fest, Superman slugging around a lot of big guys, Batman throwing 1,000 batarangs. You're going to get a lot of action and you're going to love it. If you're infinitely familiar, if you know every little minor detail of the Public Enemy story, you're going to find that with all adaptions that there's little things missing here and there. But overall, I think you're going to be satisfied on how the story actually comes through. Now, I have to say that DC has done a really good job on these animated features over the last several years. And even some of the movies like Wonder Woman, I didn't really expect to like, and I wound up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. And Green Lantern is probably one of my favorite animated movies of all time from anybody. And I'd say that while I still prefer Green Lantern and probably Wonder Woman a little bit more than this one, this is still an excellent addition. And by no means is this a bad movie. In fact, I'd probably still even rate this higher than Gotham Knights or Superman Doomsday. As far as those go, I'd still say this is probably even better than those. So definitely a good movie and definitely worth checking out.